YouTube members, what's happening? This is a members request. I think I might just publish this eventually for the rest of the subscribers as well, because I think this is just a good exercise in how you can kind of do this exercise for a lot of the things that you cover. Just some insights into how I analyze technical structures. And my favorite are the ones that I don't have any investment in, right? Because so my bias is completely removed. Now I do have the bias of my market thoughts and positioning very well entrenched in all of these thoughts, but that's okay. I'm here to give you my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, you know that. These markets could go up, down, sideways. I am just giving you my perspective. And so the agenda for today is I'm going to go through Litecoin, I'm going to go through Mara, I'm going to go through Mara denominated in CLSK, and these are all members' requests. So specific to what my members want to see. PayPal, TLT, INMD, Lunar, LUNR. And then I may do just a strict members video later on account I'm looking at for Bitcoin, just some low time frame speculation. All right, so Litecoin is first. This is Litecoin on Coinbase, and there's two things that are going on that give me the most clarity. Okay, this is not something I've been following at all. And if we look at the structure, just for what it's worth, let's look at it from a trending perspective, from a Wyckoff perspective, and from a Elliott wave perspective. From an Elliott wave perspective, we don't see much. We don't see a lot of clear signals here, okay? Could this be impulsive? Sure, that could be impulsive. But, could have been impulsive, but it could have been an impulsive counter trend move and a larger corrective move, right? So there can be impulses in the counter trend in an overall corrective move as well. This could just be, just some major, triangle correction. The only clear impulse on this chart on a high time frame that I see is this one from 2017. Since then, we've essentially been consolidating. That's all this has been doing. It's been consolidating, right? In that form. Now, this isn't a bull pennant, right? I mean, at this point, with something that's been consolidating since 2017 to 2025, very reluctant to say, all right, that if and when this resolves, that's the type of energy that we can expect to be expressed, just because this is a really long one. But at the same time, and we've seen that type of movement in things like Tesla that consolidated for years and years and years and years, and made a move coming out of its consolidation that was commensurate with the move that it came into, that 5-10 year consolidation. And so, I would have to be very conservative with the approach here and just say, let's just say even that to the third wave move, because some of these things on the first major impulses are going to by far be the greatest. Okay, by far be the greatest. You won't ever see moves like that ever again. Now here, if we're just saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you might be able to convince me that we can replicate, a third wave type of move from very conservatively the low end here, which was what, 22. And so an impulse that gets us to 600, that would be, that wouldn't surprise me at all if in fact this is impulsive. Again, that's how I'm looking at this thing on the high time frame. Zooming in even closer to the more relevant position in the market, we do see a couple important things that are going on here. We do see a couple things that are very important that are going on here from a structural standpoint. We see swing failures riddled with this chart, right? Swing failures riddled with this chart. Where did those occur? Well, those occurred at a position in the market where, right, this was the difference between one leg and the next. Where is my, right? And so, when we look at this area, swing failure, this zone, supply resistant zone, has been very, very well respected by the market. Two swing failures, but now what's going on? Now what's going on is we have a wick below it, okay? And failure for the market to accept prices below a zone that for 4 years has been very well respected by the market, a zone that the market has not wanted to accept prices in for more than 1 week here, for more than 2 weeks here, and now we're working on 1, 2, 3 weeks, depending on where we close, 4 weeks, a month. The market is accepting prices, is accepting this as the low range of value, 99, 100. And so that's a bullish posture. That's what it is. You've got the 30-week. I don't want to see it tested. In names like this, in charts like this, when you first see, just so much interaction around the 30-week, you want to see it come out of it. You don't want to see it give the market. That's too easy. 78, 77 reclaim. I mean, you want to see this zone hold for strength, front run this that area. You want that space to be left intact, and you want to see this then attack with at least the same movement that came into it, energy, whatever you want to call it, the top end of this zone at 222, 221, 222. That's where you want to see Litecoin go next. If in fact this is over, the market has respected this line and is now almost a month consolidating above it. If that's the case, then a double is the next move I'm expecting in Litecoin. Mara just keeps frustrating investors, right? That's what's like, especially Friday. I'm gonna zoom into Friday daily, but first I just want to remind us of the high time frame. We're still working on this very constructive, cup and handle formation. This move was impulsive to me coming out to early December. Now we're working 1, 2, 3 red weeks in a row. When's the last time we had 3 red weeks in a row on Mara? Let's see. I don't see one. Actually, I do. December 2023. The last week of December, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. Okay. And then it proceeded to climb back up to range high in the following 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks, exceeded range high. And so that was the last time. It doesn't mean it can't happen again. I'm just, if in fact this is a new uptrend, we have a change in market structure here too, folks. Let's look at this from this perspective. That's a pivot high. That's a lower low. Lower high, lower low. We have a higher high, and now we're forming a higher low. So essentially, it's a change in character. The break in structure would occur at that point, right? A breach of 31 on a weekly. but we are in the process of changing the character of the market structure as it relates to Mara. Now, looking at a daily chart, we're working on, if we know our candles, what kind of candle is that? That's an inverted hammer. Again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days, and 8 of them have been red, culminating on this candle, inverted hammer. That when that occurs at the bottom of a downtrend, typically they occur at reversal points. Highest probability is a reversal in that candle. It's not guaranteed, but that's what you want to see at the end of a downturn, a potential change in direction of the market. All right. Next is Mara CLSK. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. It's the same story, right? We've broken out against Clean Spark. Mara has broken out against Clean Spark, is just consolidating here. Again, nothing decisive at this point to me. The 30-week is coiling up, but that's happened a few other places before. When it's broken out, right? It happening at this location is more indicative of potential LPS signs, right? LPS, where you have spring test, LPS, jumping across the creek. It really is starting to look like a reaccumulation. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see us breaking out further against it. That's the read on Mara denominated in CLSK. PayPal, not sure when the last time or the first time I did a video on PayPal was on YouTube. I have been charting this one on my X for a while. And I don't like knife catching. I like looking for very, very obvious downtrend counts, right? And characteristics. And this was one of them. Oh boy, this was one of them. Just a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave ending diagonal where you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves in that fifth. And on a weekly, this is beautiful. This is reversal. Now, when I say, like, on my X feed, that I'm expecting a correction here, this is not something that, again, I can't give financial advice, but this is not something I'm shorting, right? I'm looking to short. When I say correction in the context of what's going on the high time frame on this chart, this is a stage 2 uptrend, right? That's your reaccumulation. That's your spring. That's your test. That's your LPS back up to last point of support. That's expansion, folks. And so in an expansive environment, that's the term, buy the dip. That's where this is what it was invented for, was in a stage 2 uptrend. And I'm not saying buy the dip on PayPal. I'm saying in general, I'm not looking to short things that are in stage 2 uptrends. I'm looking to, if I want to gain exposure to any asset in a stage 2 uptrend, I'm looking to do it where I get a favorable risk reward for a medium-term play. A medium-term hold, 6-month hold. And so that's the purpose of what I'm doing here. And so right now, back on my X, I'd projected an A, B, and I wasn't sure if C was to come or a new impulse was starting. This is where I'd kind of posted, right here looks very, very attractive for 2 scenarios. And we got the second scenario. We got the C and then impulsive move out. And so let me just go zoom in on the daily and just show you what I'm looking for here. And then last week I said I was looking for a corrective move, and we got it. Well, we kind of sort of got it, right? I mean, it's just it's a week. It's not conclusive as to if what I'm charting out here is going to play out, which is why I'm not shorting things in a uptrend. I'm just looking at potential pullback areas. So with PayPal on a daily, I've got a one. Oh my Lord, I hate when that happens. I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got kind of this diagonal five. Okay. Um, and so, and you got this rising wedge type movement. When you get those rising wedges towards the end, um, yeah, they can do one of two things. They can blow off or they can fall out, and you're looking at one of those. So, yeah, I'm just kind of looking for areas that it may pull back to. Maybe we can be forming an A here, B, and then C down at the 618 at 7752. Either way, this is a very powerful early stage uptrend. And this is a strong asset in its early stage to uptrend, regardless of if it goes back to 77.52. If you like PayPal at 90, what did it hit? 93? Then I'm assuming you're going to love it at 77 if it gets there. Excuse me, if it gets there. We did test the 786. So, kind of like XRP is showing us for the altcoins, if this truly is strong, I could be wrong here too, where we could be making A, B running flat. I mean, all these things are possible, right? All these things are possible. No way to tell what type of corrective structure is going to unfold, if in fact that's what's happening. TLT. Oh, TLT looks just like a hot mess, doesn't it? What a hot mess. Let me just throw this up in a weekly. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Okay, good, good, good. TLT, weekly chart. And let's just look at basic principles. Okay, basic principles, 30-week simple moving average it's under it. Okay, it's been trying to reverse, right? It's made one attempt up here, two attempts here, three attempts here, flattening out, flattening out. It's close. I mean, you don't see the market really try to make these trends move over the course of 2 years, um, only to have them, can continue down. That's my opinion. I could be wrong here. Uh, the zone at which the market has told us is very important now, has been tested 1, 2, 3 times, has been breached once, right? Has been breached once, and that could just be your good old-fashioned inverse head and shoulders, right? Where we're carving out the right shoulder here, and we work our way back up to something like that. From a technical standpoint, uh, yeah, I mean this just looks like a reaccumulation or a Wyckoff accumulation to me, where you have your selling climax, you have a spring, you have a test, you have a last point of support, right? We just notice what's going on here. Higher lows, higher lows. We have a higher high, we have a higher high. And so from a pure market structure standpoint, I have to imagine we're going for a higher high TLT. All right, next, Inmode LTD. Have no idea what these guys do. Inmode LTD, no idea. I never looked at this chart in my life before. Before I put up these two green rectangles before I opened my video, that is. But prior to that, I'd never had any exposure to this at all. So this is pure speculation, much like everything is that I do, right? That I don't have a lot of conviction in necessarily. So let me go weekly. All right, let's see. Okay. Yeah, this one I don't have a good read on either. I see just a massive bearish type of order block. That just means a lot of sellers showed up in that red candle. A lot of sellers showed up in that red candle. So much so there's so much supply there. The market couldn't overcome it once, couldn't overcome it twice. three times, and now we've got a failure on the 30 week. The 30 week has not held this past week. Um, yeah, I mean, I would be very concerned with that type of movement, something like that. If I'm just looking at probabilities here. Now, if this zone holds, this is an important zone. If this zone holds, right? If that zone holds, then the market's saying this is our value area for now. Okay, that's our range. That's our range. If this can hold, what is it, 16, mid 16s, high 16s, and you just kind of get some bouncing around, that's more preferable prior to then showing us its hand, which might be a break below, close below. Right? That wouldn't be good versus just kind of carving out maybe a higher low up here, and then you start getting, you start looking for Wyckoff signs, right? Because this could also be a Wyckoff. Remember, we look through things at many lenses. Breaching of the 30 week, that's bearish. This could be a possible spring. This could be a possible test. Okay. And so the reaction here is really important for what happens next. The reaction here, whether this is an LPS, whatever you want to call it, 1, 2, right? Doesn't matter. The reaction there is very key. And if this level doesn't hold, then you start to get concerned if you're on the long side in this name. I don't know. I don't know what the positioning is, or if someone's looking at this for a short. Let's also just kind of look at where this thing is retraced so far. Yeah, I mean, this thing breached the 50% retracement last week. We don't like seeing that. Getting to the 382 at 1660 pulls you back into this this green zone below it. So, at a minimum, if it were to spike there, you want to see buyers show up in an aggressive candle. But that's my take on INMD. Lunar. Wow, this is one I wish I had on my radar earlier. This is the sign of something, if you're looking for strong names, I don't know what this company does, Intuitive Machines, but just strong technical names. These are the type of setups that you want to look for, right? Clear impulsive movements. This is a weekly chart of Lunar. It looks like 5 waves kind of potentially have been completed here. And so could it be the start of a corrective move here? Potentially. All right, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Is that, one of this three? Where you got a 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't know. But some digestion here is most certainly warranted. Let's take a look at this impulsive movement. 1. I mean, look at the energy that came into this first impulse, the energy that was expressed out, kind of, it pretty much got you to where you are right here. Prior to each of these subwaves had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're working on 1, 2, 3. So could we be getting in an A, B, C type correction here? I don't know, but it most certainly would be warranted. Most certainly would be warranted here. Either way, this just looks to me like something, and look at where it's consolidating. Okay, look at where it's consolidating here. This market really turned at what level? At this pivot point, okay? A, B, C. I like to see consolidations over the B wave. That is what you call kind of like retiring risk in something on a high time frame. Again, this isn't anything to say you should buy Intuitive Machines. I have no idea what the health of this company is, the balance sheet. This is simply a member request and me interpreting this chart. I've got no investment in this company. nor do I plan to. Uh, I'm just saying A, B, C, B wave right here. And this thing is consolidating above it. That's bullish posture. So strong looking uptrend. If this is really the beginning of a new wave count for high time frame impulsive movements where you got 1, 2, I could see a 3, 4, and then maybe a 5 wave move, something like that. And so uh, interesting look on this lunar. All right, folks, that's it. If I didn't get to for the members, if I didn't get to your requests, please, if don't, you're not going to bug me if you put them up multiple times if I miss it, because I'm busy. I've got a day job, and I try to keep up with the comments. I don't always see the comments because sometimes they're hidden in older videos, and I just forget. So you're not bugging me. Say, Koosh, if I miss it the first time, hey, Koosh, do you mind looking at this one again? Or when you get a chance, you're not going to bug me at all. Because if I miss it, it's not intentional. The whole point of the members is to give you more video analysis on things that interest you. And so that's the whole purpose of what I'm doing this for. So hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Take care.